Today we are adding a quilt block to our sweatshirt. It is absolutely so easy to do. I'm going to be using my brother's Scan and Cut as well as my brother Avenir to create this quilt block. So let's jump into this. So we are not live today. I'm sorry. I am traveling around doing the academies, but I had such a fun idea that I couldn't not do a video on this. So I have seen all over the internet all these really cute quilt block sweaters, but they're made like sublimation. They're not actual like textury fabric, and I need textury fabric. So I'm going to cut out a quilt block with my brother's Scan and Cut and show you how I apply them to my sweaters. So let's do our first step of creating a quilt block from our Scan and Cut. Now Courtney, Scan and Cut a quilt block? If you watched the show before, you know that is one of my favorite things to do with my Scan and Cut is cutting out quilt blocks. They're super easy to do. There are over 140 built-in quilt blocks, so we have so many options, but I think I know the one that I want. So let's jump into our Scan and Cut. All right, I'm gonna wake my Scan and Cut up. Good morning, Scan and Cut. All right, and we're gonna select pattern, scroll down one, and this is where our quilt blocks live, right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and select in there. Now if you're like, Courtney, that does not look like 140, you'd be correct. These are subcategories. So there's so many in here. Now I think the one that I want, I'm pretty sure is in the second category. You start realizing where your favorites are. Now these are all adorable, but let's scroll down. Let's see, and I know that this one is the one that I want. I don't know what, first time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing that. So let's go ahead and select this one. Now, it's asking me, hey, what do you want the finished quilt block size to be? After it's all sewn together and all together, what size would you want? Well, I know that I've got a pretty large sweater. And so what I usually like to do is I actually take one of my Scan and Cut mats, whichever one, because they all have a ruler built in, and I actually just sit it on my garment like this. And I'm like, ooh, how big do I want this? Now, I know this is a 12 by 12, so that's what a 12 by 12 would look on there. It's kind of big, and I kind of love it. I kind of love that. I feel like it would be cute if I did a 10 by 10, or do we just meet it in the middle and do an 11 by 11? Because it's going to be a perfect square. I think 11 by 11 might be the sweet spot. So I think a 12 by 12 would just be too big. I think 11 by 11. Yep, you talked me into it. All right, so I know I want my quilt block to be an 11 by 11, but if I had picked like some weird size, I could tell it that size. It doesn't have to be on the inch or on the half inch or anything like that. You could tell it itty bitty little marks of exactly what you want. All right, so I know I want mine to be 11 by 11 when I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this plus, and it's gonna go ahead and raise that size. But you saw how it gives me some weird sizes too, not weird, but it gives me those in between sizes. So you really could tell it the exact size that you want your quilt block to be. I know I want mine to be an 11 though. There we are, 11 by 11, perfect. So let's go ahead, we're gonna select okay here at the bottom. And there, it breaks all my whole quilt block down. So now it's in all the little pieces. Now Courtney, why did they do that? Great question. So the reason they do that is that way if I select a piece, so say I select B over here, see how they labeled them all? Well now I can see where B is on this quilt block. That way I can color sort a little bit better in my head. So if I wanted C right here, this is where C is. Now Courtney, why are they giving you C with this little asterisk instead of just regular C? Because technically those could be cut out of the same color. But if you wanted to separate them, you absolutely could do that. So they kind of separate that for you if you want to change up your quilt block even more than what the options are. So I appreciate that. All right, so let's start. I like to start with just from the top, letter A. Now for me, letter A is gonna be white for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my sweater, put it off to the side for now, and I'm gonna take a fabric mat right here. There we go. Now, your fabric mat is probably my favorite mat because it is the stickiest mat that we have, which is great for fabric because we want to make sure everything stays down on this mat. We don't have any shifting of the fabric because that's when you get uh-ohs, and we don't want that. So I love my fabric mat. So I know I want this beautiful, it's like a cream, it's not a pure white, but I definitely want this fabric. Now, I've got a big long piece of it. I don't need this long of a piece. I mean, technically, I could just put it on here and keep moving it up. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down to size. And you know, I'm gonna pull out my electric scissors. I have been traveling for academies and shows, and I have missed my electric scissors very much. Oh, so good. All right. Now, this is 100% untreated cotton fabric. Oof, I probably should give it a little iron, but this is completely untreated cotton fabric. Nothing special about it. I didn't put any Terreal Magic in it, which is like a starch stiffener. I didn't put anything in it. I just honestly got it from my bin of scraps, and I thought, you know what? It's pretty. I didn't want a plain white. I wanted to have some kind of texture to it. All my quilters know what I'm talking about. All right, very nice. Woo. She is wrinkly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this down on my mat. Now, I like to put my pieces in weird spots because our instinct is to go ahead and put it on the mat to the corner right here because it's like how we're reading. Everything just goes up to there. But if you do that, you don't wear out your mat as evenly as we would like. You just kind of wear out that one section. So I like to put mine all over my mat. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this bottom part off. There we go. And put that to the side because I might need that for later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reach for my brayer tool. We all knew that was happening. My brayer tool is fantastic. It's like a little mini steamroller to make sure that that fabric is really nicely well down there. Especially if your mat is starting to see the end of its life and it's losing some of that stick. I wanna make sure that it is stuck down on there. So brayer tool for the win. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and load this in. Alrighty, so I know I want to do that piece that I selected. So I'm going to go ahead and select OK. It's saying, hey Horny, since you said you wanted that finished block to be that 11 by 11, this is the exact size, so 3 1/4, that these squares would need to be. Well, that's okay for me, and also it would take 4 of them to finish one block, which is fine. I'm only doing one block, but let's say I wanted to do 2 at a time or more, then I could tell it to do more for me. But I like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit set. Fantastic, and look, it laid them down on there. Now I know that I did not put fabric on this side, so I can just move these blocks. Boop. And that way I know they're gonna get cut out of my fabric. I could of course scan my fabric in if I wanted to, but I know that I have more than enough fabric on here to do these 4 blocks. Now if you notice on here, it's got a black box around and it's got a blue one on the inside. That is because your scan and cut can draw your seam allowance. Now I'm not drawing my seam allowance for this because it's a simple block, but if you wanted to, you absolutely could do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. Please select, and what do we want to do? Do we want to cut? Do we want to drop? Do we want to emboss? Do we want to foil? I would like to cut. And she's ready to go. For this, I would usually use my tan fabric blade, my thin fabric blade, but I don't know what I did with mine. And I do kind of prefer a different blade, which of course is my rotary blade, but you could use either of them. So I'm going to use my rotary blade today. Alrighty, let's go and hit start. So she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna cut around, and I know she's gonna do a great job. Now another trick is I absolutely love that rotary blade because I know that if my mat's maybe getting a little grubby, not super sticky, she's gonna be more gentle with my fabric than my thin fabric blade. Now, not saying anything bad about the thin fabric blade, but I know that's my girl. That's gonna be super careful with my items. Especially again if my mat has seen better days. She's almost done. Me talking, that's that's my input. She doesn't really need me. There we go. So that. Do you hear how quiet it is? That's insane. There we go. And now I have perfect squares. They're going to be cut out and they're going to be even, which is not something I can say when I use a rotary blade. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead. All right, I can't help it. I have to pull it off. The excitement. There we go. So good. Okay, first, are you kidding me? 2, let me grab my spatula tool. Last show, I did not have a spatula tool last Saturday. Someone roasted me in the comments. I have one, okay? I do know what I'm doing. No worries. All right, so I'm gonna take my spatula tool and we're just gonna go underneath and wiggle, 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 wiggle. Boop, boop, boop. And now this, again, this is untreated fabric, so she will fray. If I just like was to rip it off like that, she would totally fray. But if I use my spatula tool, she's gonna come off perfectly, so. Now, does that mean I'll get no fraying? No, it's me. I'm gonna tug something, I know me. But it means less fraying, which is great. Your scan and cut did a great job cutting it out. Help her help you get it off the mat. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, this is such a pretty fabric. I don't know if you guys can see the like florally design in it. It's so pretty. All right, just putting that off to the side. Let's get our other 2 pieces. Now, if there were more things that I had wanted to cut out of this white, then all I would have had to do was hit add and then add the next part. So usually what I do is I'll add as much fabric as I can fit on this mat, especially if my quilt block sizes or my applique pieces are small, and then cut them all out at once, and it's fantastic. All right, so now we have those. We're gonna lay them right here off to the side, and let's grab our next piece. All right, now, Courtney, what do I select? Next part or finish? Now, I always think of it this way. Do we want to go to the next part of our quilt block, so next part, or do we want to finish what we're on? Well, I've already finished what I was on. Those blocks cut out beautifully, so I want to go to the next part of my quilt block. So let's go ahead and select that. Now, it brings us right back to this screen. It's deleted everything off, so those squares that it just did, they're off my mat now. So now it's a clean slate starting over. So I want to go ahead and I want to do part B. You could do it in whatever order you want, but just for me, I like to go A, B, C, so I know I didn't miss us a part. So I'm gonna select my B. Now, I think B, I would like to do out of this really, really pretty little pink fabric that I have right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And it's saying, hey, you're gonna need 4 of them in this side, which is A-okay with me. Let's hit set. Fantastic. Now it went ahead and laid them that way because it thinks, hey, this is the best way that I can lay it on here where you save fabric. And you're probably right. If you want to check it, you can move it. Or if you want to see another option, if you select right here, so we're all that box with the square with all the different shapes in it, it'll actually bring you to this screen. Now this will allow you to make them all topsy-turvy, trying to save space, or more uniform, or all facing up. Now, I usually like to just see what the topsy-turvy is going to look like. Ooh, that did a better job. You know what? I'm happy with that. I mean, that one could be turned in. It's not like I'm hurting for this fabric, but that does look really good. Let's see what some of the other options are, but I think that one might have been my favorite. Yeah, more uniform. And let's see this one. It just turned them the other way. I kind of think this one might be my favorite. Yeah, this one's definitely my favorite. Let's go ahead and hit OK. But I think if I took this block and rotated it, so let's go to Edit, Object Edit, and right here at the top are my rotation tools. So I'm going to select the rotation tool, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees because now I feel like it could definitely fit in there better. So let's hit OK. I'm going to bring it in. Look at that. How good. Think if I only had a little bit of fabric left, how much of a lifesaver that would be. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. OK again. OK again. Please select. And I want to cut. There we go. How fast? Now, of course, it's not lit up because I haven't put fabric on my mat and loaded my mat in. So it's waiting for me. I had one job. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take this fabric, open it up. This was a fat quarter that I got from AllBrands Baton Rouge. How pretty. With that variegate, oh, it's so good. That way it's not just a solid. It's got a little something to it. Again, a little something to it. I did not also iron this. All right, let me see. Now a little helpful tip, if your fabric ever has like these big creases in it, you of course could use the steam from your iron to get it out, but I do love a nifty notion splits, a little sprayer. What are these called? Mist sprayers. I love this. It's just full of water and it's so good. Now I know that my Aliso has a built-in steamer. I get that, but I don't like filling it up. I like this thing, it's fun. All right, there we go. Oh, and it does such a good job. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, granted, the iron's good too, but like you can tell where I've ironed. The iron's good too. We're not saying she's not. She's fantastic. She did most of the work, let's be honest, but I do love a good little nifty notion spritzer. It's the little things in life that get me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this fabric. I like to go ahead and put it down on my mat like that, and then I kind of cut it to the size that I think it is, because again, the built-in ruler that's sitting on there, so good. It's fantastic to have it nearby. There we go. Little brayer tool. All right, let's load her in. Excuse me, sprayer. All right, everything looks great. Let's hit start. Again, she's gonna come on over, test, and then off to the races. I have such a bad habit of putting my hand here and doing like this. It's really bad, don't do it. There she goes. Oh, that was a big one. I love when it does the long cuts and it's just like shoop, like an actual rotary blade. This is so cool. So I do a lot of my quilts, not all my quilts, with this because there's so many different options in there for all the different quilt blocks. And again, this takes out part of the quilting. So most of quilting is cutting, piecing, you know, sandwiching, binding. Well, if you want to do some free motion quilting on it, or edge stitch. But this takes out a part of the quilting for me. So it makes it so much easier for me. And honestly, I'll do a ton of them and assembly line them. And then it's great because when it's cutting out more pieces, I could be piecing some of the pieces. So it's fantastic. Oh, and she's done. That was fast. All right, here we go. You know I like to pull the outside parts off first, okay? It's oddly satisfying. Oh, it's so good. Again, are you kidding me? All right, here we go. Spatula tool for the win. I'm getting stuck to the mat. But how quick and easy is this? Like, bam, here's more pieces. Just continuing the pile of all the pieces. There we go. Another one. Gorgeous. There we go. Another one. All right. Ooh, I'm getting stuck to the mat. All right, this pile is growing and growing over here. Let's jump back over and get our next part. So please select next part. See? Hit OK. Set. They're on there beautifully, but I know that I would like to cut the other ones out of the same color, so that's okay, because I can hit add. The next part is C. Hit OK. Set. Beautiful. So you see how I said about adding more and more and more? You absolutely could do that. So I'm going to, of course, use this tool to arrange them a little nicer on our mat. No, that is not my favorite. Let's try for a more uniform look. Oh, better, but I feel like we could do even better. Let's see. Oh, I feel like we could do way better. Let's try a different one. Oh, no. Okay, this might have been closest to my favorite. All right, and let's hit OK. I can still move them around. So let's say I like that one. Let's go edit, object edit. Let's rotate her again. Ooh, this way. And that way I can do one of these. You see where I'm going with this? I think you do. All right, let's move that one over. So again, you could definitely do it by hand, and a lot of times I will because I have in my head what I want, but we appreciate the machine trying. I'm going to bring this one over. Like this. Right? So good. All right, I think you see where I'm going with this. I like that they let you on the edit screen, so on the rotate screen, still be able to like click on the icons like this. Doesn't that just make your heart a little bit like better? I can move this one over, this one over. So again, saving fabric. Let's hit OK. OK again. OK again. All the way to the end. Please select and cut. After this, we only have one more piece to cut. How wild. I know for this part, I want this really pretty blue with this pretty design on it. Oh, so good. So good. There we go. Go ahead and just give her a little quick iron and a spritz. Some people like to put a little starch in there with water. I've never done that. Let me know in the comments. Are you a starch and water girl, or are you just a spritzer with water? Or if you've never used a spritzer and you're like, what is this magical thing you were telling me about? All right, here we go. I'm gonna put my fabric down on here. Here we go. So usually this is how I like to put it on there, and then like I said, I like to cut it while it's on here. Doesn't hurt my mat at all. There we go. Ooh, turn. Gorgeous. All right, there we go. My fabric is now down on there. Gonna use that brayer tool. Again, this is great whenever your fabric or when your mat is really just starting to die. Alrighty, let's hit start. Here she comes over. We know the drill. We know the drill. Alright, so after that, all I have is the square in the center. I think I want to do it at this bright pink. I feel like just a bright pink right in the center might be awesome. So I might see, before I actually sew it together, lay it all together and be like, okay, do we like this? Because if not, we could do it out of like the white, like a white center might be really pretty too. I wish you guys were here live so you could tell me. All right, oh, she's almost done. It's so fast, it's so fast. I'm gonna get this fabric ready while she's doing that, so I feel like I'm doing something too, okay? I can help as well, okay? There we go. This is another fat quarter that I got from the Baton Rouge AllBrands. They give me with those fat quarters. You know, in the store right now, as of right now, they have a fat quarters sale going on. And you know, a lot of stores do the fat quarter Fridays. What is it? Giselle in San Antonio calls it like Fabulous Fat Quarter Friday or something. She's gonna tell me. It's a longer name, all right? I can never remember the name. Raise your hand if you forgot to hit the record button. I got all the blue pieces. I'm sorry. I was so excited ripping things off, talking to you guys. You weren't even here. All right, last piece. Let's hit next part. The beautiful big block in the center. Hit OK. And set. Gorgeous. Now I know I have it above here. And I know it's perfectly fine there, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Please select and cut. I can't believe it didn't hit record 2 seconds ago. All right, hit start. There's a big blue record button, Courtney. You can see it. Look how pretty are these. Oh, it's so good. All these little half square triangles, like, so good. Oh, there it goes. She's like, I got a square to go. Oh, and done. All right, here we go. Oh, got one little spot connected. No, we don't. There we go. All right, there we are. Take that spatula for the last time. Gorgeous. All right, so what I like to do, I'm gonna take this mat away, is I usually like to lay all my parts out. One, to make sure I have them all, but two, to make sure I like all the colors and stuff like that before I actually sew it down. So let's go ahead. Now the nice thing is, if you go ahead and put it on your scan and cut screen, so if you do this and go to next part, it'll bring your design back up so you remember where everything lays. And if you forget what color laid where, you can go ahead and select it and then figure out where it laid, right? Nice. All right, so looking at that as a cheat sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and lay all my parts. Here we go. How pretty is that blue, right? I know, I'm so excited it's gonna be on my sweatshirt. Here we go. Again, how quick and easy was that? So good. Go. And there we go. Oh my goodness, I love it. Oh, you know what? I really should have put it on the sweatshirt so I could have seen the color. Not that the red's not, you know, great in the AllBrands logo, but the sweatshirt itself would have been cool. There we go. Oh good, they are contrasting. I was worried they'd be too close to the same color and then you know, it would just kind of blend, but they are contrasting, I'm glad. Boom. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm glad I did the blue with like some kind of texture to it so it wasn't just flat. That's really good. Now, should we have done the center of it white or do we like the dark? Now, off camera, I did cut out a white one. I was curious, okay? I didn't even iron it. Oof. No, I think the darker blue. Let me know in the comments. White, would y'all have done the white one or would you have done the pink one? I think I like the pink one better. I don't know, let me know in the comments what would you have done for your sweatshirt. All right, so now that we have all of our pieces laid, I'm gonna go ahead and start piecing it together. That is the fun part of all this. Now, what I like to do is I actually usually like to work in sections. So you would think that I would grab this and this square, but I absolutely would not. What I like to do is when it's something like this, I wanna complete this item, this area first. So what I would do is take actually this part, put it over, and since it was cut out by the ScanNCut, you see how it's got the little notches? Like, how good. So that way they perfectly line up like this. Perfect, right? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do a 1/4 inch seam allowance down the side of it, open it up, of course, lay this one, sew that 1/4 inch seam allowance, open her back up like this so I have a complete part. And then I can sew this one to this one and this one to this one. So let's jump over to my sewing machine and go ahead and start piecing them together. All right, so now we've got our first part done. Gorgeous, that, oh, love this fabric. There we go. Perfect. Oh my gosh, look how well that matches up. All right, and we're gonna bring it back over here, open her up, and again, I'm gonna press to the dark side. Gorgeous. Look at that, so good. All right, whoop, I'm taking my pieces with me here. So now that part is done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do all of these just like that one, and then we'll be able to piece the rest of it together. Alrighty, so I've got all of those sewn, just like how I just did this one. I went ahead and did these off camera. Didn't think you wanted me to watch me sew every single one of them. All right, so we have this now. It's so good. So all the hard parts are done. So now what I would do is I would actually take one of the corners right here, lay it over this one, like this, and just go ahead and sew it right here. And then once I have that sewn, I would take the other side, lay it down, sew the 1/4 inch seam allowance, so that way my whole top part right here, or for you would be my side part. If you want to do this one, it's up to you. But for me, this is my top part. So I would lay this here, this here, boop, boop, boop. If you want to pin them, you absolutely could. Sew down both those sides, so when I open it up, again, that's all connected. So let's bring this over to my sewing machine. I'm obsessed with how perfectly they all fit together. Like, it makes me happy on the inside. All right, there we go. 1/4 inch foot. Boom. I feel like this is the unsung hero, is this 1/4 inch foot. No one ever talks about it, and I love it. It's my favorite. All right, gonna go ahead and drop that other one. It's so good. Like, the ScanNCut cuts it out perfectly, okay? That foot's gonna make sure that it's on there perfectly. Like, it's just a match made in heaven right now. Boom. All right, so when I open it up, ta-da! Go, I need to iron that. Boop. All right. We'll take that one off for now. This one on. Right sides together. Look how beautifully everything lays because I actually pressed it. Okay, flip it over the other side. Alrighty, there it goes. It's so good. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, lay it right here, sew right here, and then again, take this bottom part, sew right there, 1/4 inch, and that'll be our block done. Let's do this. All right, now for this part, I usually try to make sure I'm nestling my points right here because I want them to lay beautifully. So I'm going to grab some wonder clips right here, and then that way I can just clip where it's going to nestle. Just nicely. Go. Now I should have been good and ironed down my points, but I didn't. Okay, so we're going to put a wonder clip right here, right where I want it to nestle nicely. And then right over here, it should line up like so. And since everything's cut on the scanning cut, everything is even, everything is beautiful, and it's all lining up perfectly. Come to a clip, take it off. Come to a clip. I'm gonna straighten this bottom part out before I take my clip off because I don't want anything to be misaligned. There we go. There we go. All right, now I probably should have laid that differently, and I didn't, but that's fine. Oh, not too shabby. All right, go to the other side. Make sure I lay this right this time. All right, and then do the same thing where we make sure that our points are lining up beautifully, because again, this is going on a sweatshirt. This is going right in the center of my chest. There we go. Gorgeous. So whenever this happens, and I should have done it earlier, you see how that's about to get pushed back? I keep my needle down. I raise my foot up, and I just push my foot on top of it like that. So now my foot's already got it down, so I can just keep on going, and it's not going to flick it up. Okay? And then it sews it now where it's down like that. So it's not going to get flicked up. I should have done that earlier, and I didn't. If you ever come across that problem, that's usually what I do. I just make sure my needle's down and then go ahead, put my foot up, lay it down, and it does great. Because no one's going to remember to push the seams to that particular size. No one's going to remember to do that. Or at least I'm not going to remember. All right, so I came close. Again, needles down, foot up, push that underneath. So now it's going to easily, breezily go over it. Line those up. Perfect. All right, there it is. It came out so good. And there it is. It's so good. All right, I'm gonna give it one good press because I want it super flat for the next step. So I'm just gonna put it over and just make sure that it is flat as it possibly can get for what I'm about to do to it. Now, Courtney, how do I get this quilt block on my sweatshirt? Is there some kind of magical situation? Do you have a magical trick of it? Technically, it's called Heat and Bond Ultra. Now, you could do a Heat and Bond Light if you're not going to put stitches in it. I usually, just for this kind of thing, I like a good Heat and Bond Ultra, and then that way I know she's down, she's not going anywhere, even if I'm going to put stitches. Now, I personally do like a stitch around, especially like a good decorative stitch is nice, or a really thick outline stitch. So I know I want mine to be a white one because I feel like a white stitch around it is going to be so classic and so nice. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a decorative one. If you wanted to embroider like a really thick satin stitch all the way around it, you absolutely could do that. How cute. You can absolutely do that. It's 100% up to you, but I think just a good little stitch around is going to be great. All right, so now that I have that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of Heat and Bond Ultra and actually adhere it to the back of it. All right, so I'm ready to put this Heat and Bond Ultra on the back of this. Now, Heat and Bond Ultra is fantastic. I really like it for this kind of thing because it's a large area. I'm not gonna put any stitches going down or anything, which you could. I'm just gonna do them around. So I don't want the center of my quilt block to ever get like puffy or poked out or feel like it's disconnected in some kind of weird way. No. Now, I've seen some people like to put a little batting inside of it and then put it down so it gives it that plushy effect, and you could totally do that. I just want this straight down on there. So it's up to you if you want to put the batting, but if you do the batting, I would suggest stitching through the top and the batting to put them together. All right, so we're going to open this Heat and Bond Ultra. It's a new pack. Very exciting. I told you how much I use it, guys. I go through this stuff. Heat and Bond Light and Heat and Bond Ultra. Yes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and unpeel and just kind of do a rough estimate of it. Scissors for the win. Ooh, maybe it'd be smart to do it this way. There we go. There we go. And cross. Perfect. Oh, this is the packaging. And of course, you guys, I link everything that I use down below. Do not worry, I got you. All right, so now that we have that, oh, it's so good. Oh, I'm excited. All right, so now we have that. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. Oh, oh. All right, so quilt block is down there. I'm gonna line it up. I really don't want any accidentally slipping over the edge because then it gets on my wool mat. And I'm gonna take my iron and go ahead and just start working in sections to press that Heat and Bond Ultra down to my quilt block. Oh, it's nerve-wracking. All right, I like to just do a quick little pass so it's on there. And then I like to switch over to my actual, ooh, I did get some on there. I like to switch over to my actual quilt block because I wanna make sure that nothing gets out of line or like misshapen in some kind of way. Ooh, I could have done better meeting up the seams. It's fine, it's fine. I don't want any wrinkles or anything like that because once it's down on that Heat and Bond Ultra, it's not coming off. So I want to be very cautious about that right now. There we go. Oh, I love this already, and it's not even on my sweatshirt already. It's so good. Okay. And now what this does is it actually creates an adhesive on the back of my quilt block that can put it onto my sweater. Now, if you just wanted to do this and not put any stitches, again, Heat and Bond Ultra, not Heat and Bond Light, would be okay. I would be nervous about washing it, maybe wash it inside out, something like that. But I like to put a good little stitch around, okay? A little stitch will never hurt nobody. All right, gorgeous, how awesome. All right, now if you have any Heat and Bond Ultra that is showing, make sure you clipped it off. Make sure it is gone. We do not want it on the ends because we really want to make sure these ends are sealed. So I had like a bit showing right there, so I just clipped it off. I have a bit showing right here, so I'm just gonna clip that off real quick because I do not want that going on my sweatshirt. It is up to you. I've seen some people peel off the Heat and Bond Ultra and then tuck under the sides. So what they do is they'll actually like peel off, ooh, this is hot, the paper backing like so. So you see how it's shiny now on the back of the fabric because that Heat and Bond Ultra is right there. And they'll actually come around and tuck. So like fold in the sides of their quilt, and then that way it doesn't leave a raw edge. And that's how they seal it down, and then they'll heat down the Heat and Bond Ultra onto the sweater. So you could absolutely do that. I kind of like the idea of it fraying over time just a little bit to give it like that raw edge fun feel. It's absolutely up to you. So I'm not gonna do that, but if you wanted to, again, you would just take off that paper backing once you put the Heat and Bond Ultra, and then you would come around and fold just a little bit, whatever you want, 1/4 inch, whatever you wanna do, and then iron that down before you put it onto your sweater. It's 100% up to you, but again, I don't want to do that. I like the idea of it, just a little fraying, nothing crazy. Now, if you want to straight stitch around this whole thing, again, you're gonna have a little bit of fraying on the ends. You see how it's already starting to like fray just a bit? I kind of like that. It gives it like a ragdoll kind of feel. If you do a zigzag stitch, it's not gonna do that as much, or a decorative stitch that kind of resembles a zigzag or something like that, then you're not gonna have as much as that fraying. If you just wanna do a straight stitch all the way around, you can absolutely do that. Again, you're gonna have a bit of fraying, even with that Heat and Bond Ultra, just on the ends, just a bit. Not as much as you would if you didn't put that Heat and Bond Ultra. Then you'd get a lot of fraying over it, of course, especially when you wash it. But the one that I've already done before, I've done a few of them, I have washed them multiple times, and I love that little bit of fraying. Personal choice, personal choice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take off the Heat and Bond Ultra, or the paper part of it, not the whole thing. The whole thing's stuck on the quilt block now. It's so good. All right, so paper gets thrown away, not the quilt block. But you see how it's got that shiny, shimmery part? That's the Heat and Bond Ultra. All right, let's get my sweatshirt. I should have pre-washed this beforehand. I did not. We're about to find out together how that's gonna go. Ooh, I kind of like it as a down. No, we're gonna do it as, oh, that's cute, 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 cute. Do I like it as a diamond? Oh no, do I like it? No, I think I like it like this. All right, there's my sweatshirt. How cute. I'm gonna cut the tags off of it real quick. There we go. It's a new sweatshirt. There we go. All right, how cute. I love that little bit of fraying. See, it's so cute. All right, gorgeous. So we're gonna go ahead, center this to where I wanna center it. Usually what I do, and it's 100% up to you, I'm just gonna give her a little quick iron. A little iron will do ya. Boop, boop, boop. All right, I like to fold it in half to find that center axis. So we're gonna fold it, boop, boop. Make sure everything's lined up beautifully. Okay, just go ahead, give her a good iron. This is a thick sweater. I don't know if you guys can tell. I like a good chunky sweater. All right, we just wanna give her her center axis like that. So when we open it up, we've got a line. There we go. Now, I know I want mine probably like right here. So I could, of course, fold it this way, do the same thing. But as long as I have that center one, I'm pretty good because this has a point and it has a point at the bottom. So as long as I'm matching up those points, I'm good and everything will be straight, right? In theory, in theory. All right, that's a little high. Let's go down just a bit. I don't want her in her neck. I want her. Oh, that's so good. Oh yeah. What quilt show coming up? Oh, I'm wearing this. That's happening. Oh, that's so good. All right, so now that I've got that, I'm gonna go ahead and again take my iron and iron her down. So this is gonna be like a pressing situation. We're not ironing because I don't wanna move anything. But since that Heat and Bond Ultra's on there, it's gonna seal it onto the sweatshirt. How cool is that? I know. Right. Now again, since I use the Heat and Bond Ultra, technically I don't need to put stitches because it seals it on there, but I know me and I am rough on my stuff. So I do want to go around on my sewing machine in just a little bit and put a stitch around. But like how fast and easy, right? And again, doing it on my scan and cut makes it so fast. It makes it so much easier. And now I keep looking in my scan and cut and I keep thinking about all the different blocks that are in there and all the different sweatshirts I can make. I kind of want to do like a small one, like on the shoulder. Like how cute, like a little small one. Or you could put a big one of these on the back and then a small one on the front, like on a pocket, like the little quilt block on a pocket. How cute would that be? Ugh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, I'm just going around. It's on there, like, she's on there. She's not coming off. Now, again, what I should do, and I will do this, is I'm gonna take this wool mat. I like these traveling little wool mats, and I'm gonna put it inside of my sweatshirt like this. Now that it's on there, it's not gonna go anywhere. But I do like to put it on there and then iron, so then it's like I kind of get a little bit more stiffness under there to iron a little bit better and like get on there even better. There we go. Oh yeah. That's good. And look, it just fits in there. Like, there's the wool mat just sitting inside of there. Oh, it's so good. Now, something that because like I said, I like the little bit of fraying at the end. It's not coming off. It's just a little bit of fraying. I like a little bit of fraying, so sometimes I'll rough up the ends of it. And it's so good. Like, even before ironing it down onto my sweatshirt, I'll rough up the ends of it so I get that little bit of fraying. It's not going to fray crazy because, again, that Heat and Bond Ultra is under there. And I am going to put a stitch around, but it just makes it look really cool and organic. Oh, it's so good. All right, so I've switched over to my J foot. I went ahead and took the arm off of my machine because I wanted to be able to maneuver just a little bit easier. All right, I'm going to move it and rearrange a little bit nicer. All the way to the end, like this. Cut. Oh, it's so cute. And now all that's gonna fray over time. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna look so good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, maneuver it this way. All right, that way when I'm sewing, it's just easier for me to glide through. there. I'm trying to make sure that part is not underneath my machine, but taking that embroidery arm off and just having this free arm is fantastic. There we go. Okay. Last part. Oh, this is so fast. Here we are. Okay. All right. Let's take her out. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. All right, that little stitch around, that made it. I feel like that is so good. Oh, again, if you wanted to put stitches down it or anything like that, you absolutely could, but I absolutely love how this came out. So let me know down in the comments, are you gonna make a quilted little sweatshirt? I feel like I need to put it on. I feel like I have to, right? Oh, it's soft. Oh my goodness. How stinking cute is this? So let me know down in the comments, are you gonna make your own quilted sweatshirt? Have you ever done this before? Is this now on your bucket list? This is very soft. This is now my new favorite sweatshirt. They're not, yeah, it's now my new favorite sweatshirt. And look at that, it's like just like material. It's not like stiff or anything like that. So it's so cute. Would you have made it bigger or smaller? I like the bigger size. All right, now don't forget that the Brothers Scan and Cut is available on our website, allbrands.com, where you can make tons of amazing things like a quilted sweatshirt. Now, when you buy from AllBrands, we truly appreciate it because we're a mom and pop just trying to survive, and that helps us continue this free education that we do. So thank you guys so much when you do buy from our website or any of our 7 retail stores. We truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget that the Brother Avenir, hello, she's available in our retail stores as well. You can definitely come and shop her and test her, and Scan and Cuts are in there too. So you definitely should visit one of your local AllBrands for all of your sewing, quilting, and embroidery needs. All right, guys, I've had a blast. Now, if you would like to come see me in person, I will be at Houston Quilt Festival this year, of course, hanging out in the Brother booth. So make sure you come to Houston Quilt Festival. That is at the beginning of October, not the end. I know, they moved the dates. It's throwing me too. But I get to be home for Halloween, and so could you. So make sure you come and see us at Houston Quilt Festival this year. We're gonna have the best deals of the year at Houston Quilt Festival. So I will see you guys next week with, all right, I'll see you guys next time with even more videos. So leave your comment suggestions down below and I'd be happy to do them. I'll see y'all then. Bye, y'all. Adding a quilt block to my sweatshirts. What? There we go. Adding a quilt block to my sweatshirt. Why can I not say the word sweatshirt? Sweatshirt, Courtney, sweatshirt. All right. Quilt block to my sweatshirt. To your sweatshirt. To you. Oh, that's even harder. Adding a quilt block to your sweatshirt. All right. Adding a quilt block to your sweatshirt. That is exactly. We are adding quilt blocks to our sweatshirts today. My name is Courtney Dowdett. This is AllBrands After Hours. Let's do this. Nope, wrong show.